Hey everyone, ready for a deep dive? We're tackling AI in finance today. And not some far-off future stuff, but how it's playing out right now in the real world. You ready to decode this?
Absolutely. It's way more than just hype. It's really shaping how financial decisions are being made.
It's wild, right? So we're using Google Cloud's material as a jumping off point, since they're big players in both finance and AI. Gives us a solid perspective. Plus, they've got some really interesting real-world examples, like, did you know AI is already being used to create personalized investment strategies?
Yeah, it's like having a personal financial advisor, available 24/7 but minus the awkward small talk.
Exactly. And Google Cloud, they're really clear about how crucial data is. They call it the fuel for both AI and machine learning in finance.
Data's everything, right? Without it, AI's got nothing to work with.
Totally. But before we get too far, let's define some terms. I know we throw around AI and ML a lot, so just to make sure we're on the same page, how does Google Cloud define these in, like, the finance world?
They keep it pretty straightforward, actually. AI, in this context, is all about using tech to pull out those really deep insights from data, stuff humans might miss.
Like, it's doing the analysis for us.
Exactly. It's like having an army of superpowered analysts, crunching numbers and seeing trends at warp speed.
Okay, I like the way you think. So what about machine learning then? Is that part of this whole AI thing?
Yeah, machine learning is the engine behind it all. It learns and adapts from the data you feed it.
So it's constantly evolving.
Precisely. It's learning and getting smarter all the time.
Okay, so to put it all together, data is like the raw material, machine learning is the factory that processes it, and then AI is that finished, super smart, efficient product.
Exactly. And speaking of a smarter system, Google Cloud points out 5 key areas where AI is really shaking things up right now. This isn't just some background noise. This is changing how the whole financial world operates.
Okay, hit us with those 5 key areas. Where's AI making the biggest splash?
They see the biggest impact on personalizing services, creating brand new opportunities, managing risks and fraud, bringing more transparency and compliance, and then, of course, automating operations to cut down costs.
Wow, 5 massive areas. So let's break it down. When they talk about personalizing services, what's the big takeaway?
It's got to be more than just those you might also like recommendations, right?
Way beyond. Think more like AI building a completely personalized investment strategy just for you, based on your risk tolerance, your goals, even how you react to the market going up and down.
Whoa, that's next level. And this isn't like some futuristic fantasy. There are companies actually doing this right now.
Oh, absolutely. And that's just one example. When they talk about creating opportunities, think of AI sifting through mountains of data, market data, news sentiment, even what people are saying on social media to find those hidden opportunities that, frankly, humans might just miss. It's like AI can see things we can't even perceive yet. So it's not just about managing what we already know. It's about uncovering those hidden gems, those future investment trends before they even hit the mainstream.
Exactly. And then there's the maybe not so glamorous, but equally important part of managing risk. That's where AI gets down to business, like a superpower detective sniffing out fraud and anything suspicious, all in real time.
And it's not just like flagging a couple of weird credit card charges. This is AI analyzing millions, billions of transactions every second, right? Catching problems before they even become problems.
Yeah.
That's got to be reassuring for both the financial institutions and us regular folks.
Mm.
But then there's all the regulations and stuff. That always seems so complicated.
Right, and that's where AI comes in for transparency and compliance.
Mm.
Imagine AI digging through documents, keeping track of all the regulations, even flagging potential issues before they become big problems. It's like having a co-pilot who knows all the rules, making sure everything's above board.
Okay, that's huge for building trust, especially as finance just keeps getting more complex. And finally, the one we all knew was coming: automation. But it's more than just machines taking over jobs, right? It's about making the whole financial system more efficient for everyone.
Exactly. Think of all those tasks that used to take people hours, days even, to finish loan applications, customer service questions, even fraud detection. AI can do it way faster, more accurately, and on a scale we never thought possible. And that frees up people to do more interesting work.
It's like AI takes care of the boring stuff so people can focus on the big picture, the creative stuff that requires, actual human ingenuity.
Exactly.
So we've covered those 5 key areas, but I'm ready to dive into specifics. Google Cloud has this whole list of real-world AI applications for finance, so let's get into those.
Yeah, it really is an amazing list. So much going on.
So much. It's honestly kind of mind-blowing, all the application they're using already. Like they mentioned speech recognition, which I always think of as, talking to my phone. But how does that actually work in finance?
Think about it. There are so many conversations happening in finance every single day, right? Sales calls, client meetings, even just internal meetings about strategies and stuff.
Right? Tons of talking.
And AI can actually analyze all of those conversations, not just like the words people are saying, but the tone. Are they hesitant? Are they excited? That's incredible insight. Could be huge for customer service, sales strategies, even spotting if someone's about to take their money somewhere else.
So it's like having an AI coach listening in, giving you feedback you wouldn't even pick up on yourself.
Exactly.
It's like that sentiment analysis thing they mentioned, right?
That's right.
Like understanding how people are feeling, not just what they're saying.
Yeah, sentiment analysis takes speech recognition even further. Imagine AI reading every news article, social media post, analyst report, and figuring out how everyone feels about, say, a particular stock, or a whole industry, or even the entire economy. It's about understanding the human psychology behind market trends, super valuable for investors.
That's incredible. So we've got AI listening to us, figuring out how we feel.
Hmm.
What about anomaly detection? That one sounds kind of mysterious.
Yeah, that's where AI gets to play detective.
Yeah.
It's constantly watching transactions, activities, anything that's happening, and looking for anything out of the ordinary.
Okay, so what kinds of anomalies are we talking about?
Could be fraudulent activity, money laundering, even someone trying to manipulate the market.
Wow, it can catch all that.
And it does it with a speed and accuracy that humans just can't match.
That's amazing. AI is like the financial watchdog we always needed.
Yeah.
But let's switch gears from like playing defense to something a bit more, I don't know, personalized. They mentioned AI for recommendations. What's that all about?
Yeah, forget those basic recommendations. Like, you might also like this. AI recommendations in finance, it's all about personalization, like hyper-personalization.
What does that even look like?
Imagine getting investment advice, product suggestions, even entire financial plans, but they're all tailored to you. Your risk tolerance, what you want to achieve, even your past behavior.
Okay, so it's about actually making financial services work better for each individual person.
Exactly.
That makes a lot of sense. And speaking of making things work on a larger scale, how does translation fit into AI in finance? It doesn't seem immediately obvious.
Right, but think about it. Finance is global, right?
Oh, right, of course.
And AI-powered translation just removes that language barrier. Instantly translates market news, reports, legal documents, you name it. Everything flows smoothly across borders.
So everyone's speaking the same language, metaphorically at least.
Exactly. And make sure everyone has access to the same information and opportunities.
Like it. Okay, now let's talk document processing, which doesn't sound super exciting, I'll admit.
It's not the flashiest, I agree.
But I have a feeling it's super important behind the scenes.
Oh, it's crucial. Think of all the paperwork in finance. It never ends. Loan applications, insurance claims, investment prospectuses.
It's overwhelming just thinking about it.
It really is. And AI can just blast through all those documents so fast, pull out the important data, find patterns, even assess risk, all in a fraction of the time it would take a person.
It's like AI is the ultimate administrative assistant.
Basically. And it makes the whole system faster and more efficient, which benefits everyone.
Right. Okay, now onto something a bit more futuristic sounding. Image recognition. How are they using that in finance?
That's one with huge potential. Imagine like AI looking at photos of property damage to process insurance claims, or instantly verifying your ID when you open an account.
Wait, it can do that?
Yeah. Or even, this is a bit more complex, but analyzing satellite imagery to track economic activity in real time.
Wow, AI really can see everything.
There's just so much potential there.
It's amazing all the ways AI can use visual data to understand, the financial world. But let's get back to the human element for a second. One of the things on Google Cloud's list is conversations. Does that mean AI we can actually talk to?
Exactly. Think like AI chatbots, right? But these aren't your average chatbots. These can answer your financial questions, walk you through complicated transactions, even give you personalized financial advice.
Whoa, like a 247 financial advisor.
Exactly. And it makes financial expertise way more accessible to everyone.
That's a game changer. Okay, now let's zoom out to the big picture for a second. Where does data science and analytics fit into all of this?
That's like the engine room of AI in finance.
What do you mean?
It takes all that data, transactions, market trends, how customers are behaving, everything, and uses AI to find the patterns, the connections, the real insights that would take humans forever to figure out.
It's like AI can connect all the dots for us.
Yes. And that's how financial institutions are making smarter decisions about investments, managing risk, you name it.
It's about seeing the forest for the trees, right? Or maybe like seeing the trends of the forest.
Exactly. It's about seeing what we can't see on our own.
I love that. And speaking of seeing things we can't see, what about predictive modeling? That sounds straight out of a sci-fi movie.
It does, but it's very real, especially in finance. Imagine AI analyzing all this past data, plus what's happening right now, to predict things like future stock prices, how customers will behave, even economic downturns.
So it's like having a crystal ball.
Not quite a crystal ball. It's more like making educated guesses based on the best information, making more informed decisions, even with all the uncertainty.
Okay, so maybe not a crystal ball, but definitely a powerful tool.
hmm
And we can't forget cybersecurity. It feels like there are new threats popping up every day. What role does AI play in all of that?
AI is crucial when it comes to cybersecurity. Think of it like a digital shield, constantly scanning for suspicious activity and potential attacks.
Is it really that advanced?
Oh yeah, it can even predict attacks before they happen by analyzing all sorts of data points and looking for patterns.
That's incredible. So it's like having an army of AI guardians protecting our data 24/7.
Exactly. And they never sleep.
That's reassuring.
Eh.
Okay, last but not least, let's talk about generative AI. That feels like it's everywhere these days. What's it doing in the financial world?
Oh, it's doing some really cool things. It can create these super realistic simulations of the market to test out different trading strategies.
Wow, like a financial video game.
Kind of. It can also help financial advisors make those personalized reports we were talking about and even create more personalized interactions with customers.
So it's not just analyzing existing stuff, it's actually creating new stuff.
Exactly.
That's pretty wild. It's incredible to think about all the ways AI is being used in finance, from like the boring back office stuff to how we actually interact with our money. But I think it's easy to get caught up in the what. I'm curious about the why. What are the real world benefits of all this technology? Like, why should our listeners care about any of this?
It's easy to get lost in all the tech talk, but the real takeaway is how it actually helps people, you know? AI in finance, it can make the whole system better for everyone.
Okay, I like where this is going. Let's talk benefits. Google Cloud, they've got this whole list of advantages, but they mention automation a lot, which always makes me think robots are taking over. But it's got to be more than that, right?
Yeah, it's not about replacing humans. It's more like helping us be even better. Think about it. AI can do all those repetitive, boring tasks that financial people used to spend so much time on, which means now they can focus on the more creative stuff, critical thinking, building relationships, things like that.
So it's like AI does what it's good at, and humans can do what we're good at.
Exactly. And that leads to another huge plus. Accuracy. When you're talking about data analysis, figuring out risks, even catching fraud, AI is just way better than humans. It's not a bias thing, just AI can process so much information, it sees patterns we miss.
That's a big deal in finance, where even small mistakes can have huge consequences. And then there's speed. Everything in finance moves so fast these days. How's AI changing that pace?
Think about it. Loan applications decided in minutes, not days. Investments adjusting instantly when the market changes. Getting your questions answered right away, anytime, day or night. That's AI making things faster and smoother.
So the whole system gets a speed boost, which I imagine is good for everyone eventually, right? But what about accessibility? Seems like AI could help people who haven't always had access to the best financial advice.
Totally. AI tools can level the playing field for people who might not have a financial advisor or who get overwhelmed by all the complicated stuff. It's about making financial knowledge easier to understand so anyone can participate.
It's about breaking down those barriers so everyone has a fair shot. I like that.
Yeah.
But we've been talking about, like, right now and the near future. What's Google Cloud's long-term vision for AI in finance? Where's all this headed?
They're saying this is just the tip of the iceberg, really. The future is all about making financial experiences even more personalized and engaging. Like, imagine every interaction you have, whether it's managing your investments or getting a loan, it's all tailored just for you.
That would be amazing. It's like having your own personal financial guru, someone who knows exactly what you need. But that takes a ton of data, right? And not just any data, but the right kind.
Exactly. One of the biggest challenges is connecting all those different data points to create this complete picture of each customer. Imagine if they could link your spending habits, your investment goals, even what you do on social media, all to build you the perfect financial plan.
That sounds like a lot,
Yeah.
but also kind of amazing. It seems like AI could completely change not just how financial institutions work, but how we all manage our own money.
Absolutely. And it brings up some big questions we need to think about. Like, as AI gets more advanced, how do we balance its power with, human oversight? How do we make sure we're using these tools responsibly, ethically, so they benefit everyone?
Those are some big questions, and definitely ones we're going to need to figure out as we go. But one thing's for sure, AI is already transforming the financial world, and it's only going to get more intense from here.
It's a really exciting time to be paying attention to this stuff. Who knows what innovations are coming next?
Well, whatever happens, we'll be here to break it all down for you. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AI in finance.